If you notice the apple is not that hard on the outside, but it's a little tougher on the inside. You can put it down. You might not see a bruise on the outside, but the inside of the apple will get bruised. And many of you have been apples. Church people, they hurt you, and on the outside you look good, but on the inside you are all bruised up. But shake your neighbor by the hand and say, neighbor, I graduated. I'm not an apple. So be it. We'll have a tennis ball. Jamal, stand right there. You stand right there. Oh yeah. You have a tennis ball. And many of you, like Pastor Younger, you've been promoted to a tennis ball. I like tennis balls. Bounce it over there. A lot of people have grown to you from one side back to the other. They sat there. They threw you again from the one side back to the other. A whole lot of people, they were watching you, sitting there saying, ain't no way you're gonna survive being thrown from one side back to the other. But I'm so glad that God anointed Pastor Younger to be a tennis ball, because it don't matter how many times you throw me down, I'm gonna bounce right back. But the part I like is the harder you throw me down, I'm gonna bounce back. Shake your neighbor's hand and say, neighbor, I will bounce back. So lift up your head. Ye gates, and be lifted up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Put your hand in your neighbor's hand and say, neighbor, it doesn't matter what the devil says. It doesn't matter what your enemy thinks. I dare you, triple ball dare you, to bounce back, bounce out of depression, bounce out of sickness, bounce out of low money, bounce out of bad finances, bounce out of bad relationships, bounce out of sickness. Grab somebody by the hand, get you somebody else, and say, neighbor, bounce out. You've been there too long, but God is going to bless us in the city, in the field, pressed down, shaking together, running over, pressed down, shaking together, running over, pressed down, shaking together, running over. If you believe it and you know, you're going to bounce back. Open your mouth for 7 seconds. Scream, wow, like you know you're coming alive.
If you're coming out, you got to be just like the egg that it has. See, when the baby chick delivers the egg that you begin to see, you do not see the evidence of the chick, because all you see is the shadow that is around the chick. But the chicken has delivered the egg. And a lot of us come to church time in and time out, and all we are delivered. But the evidence that you get that the baby chick is alive is that the chick got to crack the egg. And some of y'all have been delivered too long. What God wants you to do tonight
has to remind us, because they were stuck in where they were and couldn't see that God wanted to bless us right where they are. So he looks at us in verse 4 and says, rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice. That word, rejoice, in the Greek means to redo your joy. No, look at it, Negroes. Shake your neighbor by the hand and say, neighbor, I know the devil wants you to think about your past, wants you to think about your hurts, wants you to think about your struggles. But instead of replaying that, I need you to replace your joy. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy is coming in the morning. Touch 6 people. Say, I see it coming. I'm breaking out. I see it coming. I'm breaking out. My business, it's coming. My money, it's coming. My power, it's coming. My anointing, it's coming. My relationships, it's coming. My house, it's coming. My job, it's coming. My mind, it's coming. My peace, it's coming. It's coming. You told the wrong person. Find to somebody else and say, neighbor, get the sugar daddy out of your ear. God says, where you are is getting ready to change, and the last shall be first, and the first shall be last. And look at your neighbor